When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, oh, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance.
Bro, stop. Let me go. You weren't just thinking about all the shit you were just doing, bro.
Bro, don't leave. I did not mean to cheat on you.
No, bro, that shit sick, bro. Cause I just saw it. He showed me the video and everything, bro. I don't get no. Talking about, bro, you doing all this goofy shit, bro.
Don't leave, please.
All the money I put into you, you gonna do this and let me go. I'm gonna go.
Why are you trying to
You was so delusional. Let me go. You was so delusional, bro. Like, you don't understand what you be doing, bro. Like I was saying, man, let me get the rest of my stuff. I'm gonna go, bro.
leave, though?
I'm gonna go. Cause I'm tired of you.
Because I cheated one time.
You keep what? Stop manipulating me. Stop manipulating me. Please stop, bro. Like I'm so tired of it. Like, oh, I've been going through this shit for so long. You cheated on me more than 8 times, bro.
I did not
Let me
cheat
go.
on you more than 8 times. Why are you making
You sit
stuff
right here
up?
being delusional,
I
bro. Just
cheated
let me
one
go,
time.
bro. Damn, man.
I want you to go.
Bro, like, come on, man. Like, just let me get my shoes and go. Like, you just won't let me go.
Serious, bro. Stop pushing me away. I didn't mean to cheat on you.
I caught her talking to other men, and she won't get out of my car. Now she's crying. So I caught her talking to other dudes. Oh, wow, that must be sad. God, that must be terrible. Oh, man. What were their names again? I love how you said they were just your friends and you were sending them pictures. Get the out of my car.
What? This is a friend?
Yes.
So this is what you turned Jehovah's Witness for?
Sebastian, chill out. It's just a friend.
Bro, and you got my kids on the ground.
What are you talking
Bruh, you got my kids on the ground, bro. My daughter's on the ground. I'm not even mad, bro, but she gotta go, bro. Feel me? She got DCF problems. She got all type of stuff, bro. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is really crazy.
Can you chill out?
This is crazy, bro. I don't know how you. Well, you know what? It's that don't even matter, bro. But dude, she got 2 kids, bro. She like if you see my daughter's on the ground, bro.
She's not on the ground.
Like no, seriously, she's on the ground, bro.
She's on a cushion on the ground. You know she sleeps on the ground.
Like this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Look at my daughter, bro. Look how my daughter is on the ground. You got that. You got it, bro. You got it.
Let's stop right here because this opening tells you everything you need to know. Before we dive in, drop a comment. Are modern men more delusional, or is it the ladies? Hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what we expose next. Now listen closely to the pattern being described, because this isn't random. This is a script. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. He's just a friend. You're overreacting. It doesn't count. It only happened once. Notice what's missing from every single line. Accountability. This is the modern accountability dodge in its purest form. When the behavior can't be denied, the strategy shifts to minimizing it. When minimizing doesn't work, it turns into reframing. And when reframing fails, it becomes blame shifting. At no point is there a pause to say, yes, this was wrong, and here's how I fix it. Instead, the goal is emotional escape, not moral responsibility. He's just a friend who's doing a lot of work here. That phrase has become a social shield, a way to bypass boundaries while demanding trust. And the moment discomfort is expressed, it's not treated as a valid concern, it's labeled insecurity. That's not communication, that's manipulation, disguised as maturity. Then comes the classic minimizer. It only happened once. as if betrayal works on a punch card system, as if trust is damaged by frequency rather than choice. One lie is enough. One crossed boundary is enough. The damage isn't about quantity, it's about intent. And the most telling line of all is you're overreacting. That's the emotional shutdown button. Instead of addressing the behavior, the focus is redirected toward your reaction, your tone, your feelings. Suddenly, the problem isn't what happened, it's that you noticed. This is why the final advice here is critical. Don't waste your time arguing with people like this. Not because they're evil, but because they're operating from self-preservation, not self-reflection. You cannot reason someone into accountability when their entire worldview is built around avoiding it. Arguing doesn't create clarity in these situations. It creates exhaustion. And the longer you stay, the more you're trained to doubt your own standards while they keep theirs conveniently flexible. This isn't just about relationships. It's a cultural issue. A generation raised to prioritize feelings over responsibility will always choose comfort over correction. And until accountability becomes more valuable than validation, this cycle doesn't change. It just repeats with new people and the same excuses.
Better to live in a small corner on a roof than to share the house with a woman who is always arguing.
I know that I broke up with him. I get it. I really do. But he didn't even fight for me. Yeah, it's been 2 days. He didn't even call me.
Fascinating, isn't it? The mind of a woman is such an interesting place. She dumps him, but in her mind, she's the victim. Even though she ended things, he has no right to move on. How dare he not call me? It's been 2 days. In the minds of these women, men are not really meant to exist as independent entities. They only exist as an extension of themselves. And what's most frightening of all is that this expectation continues even after she has ended things with him. He's still obligated to chase her. As you guys who've done my course have seen in those brutal stories, women have a habit of overestimating their value in the dating market. They think that they're really desirable, really high quality because they're getting so much male attention. Check out this TikTok video of this woman dancing because look at how many men are messaging her. And you guys who have subscribed to my channel, you've seen the Tinder experiments that I've run showing how many matches women get. Does this mean that women are amazing because so many men want them? No, it means men are horny. But if a woman mistakes all of this attention as meaning that her boyfriend is easily replaced, then she's going to take him for granted. She's going to play stupid games. She's going to pretend to break up with him, dump him just to see how he reacts if he fights for her, not realizing that he isn't just an extension of her and that at any time he can decide that he is sick of this bull and just move on and find a different girl. But there is a very important reason why women cannot comprehend this occurring. It's because it goes against the feminine narrative that her life is always.
This right here has a name, and naming it matters. Inflation of self-perception, or as many call it, flation. What we're watching is not confidence, it's artificial valuation. Social media has turned attention into a currency. And like any currency, once you flood the market with it, the value becomes distorted. Likes, DMIs, comments, and validation from people with no real access, no real standards, and no real consequences create a feedback loop that tells someone they're far more rare, desirable, or irreplaceable than they actually are in the real world. And here's the dangerous part. The attention doesn't just flatter, it conditions. When someone is constantly told they're a 10, a queen, or the prize, they stop self-auditing. They stop asking, am I being fair or am I acting with integrity? Because in their mind, the market has already spoken. The algorithm has validated them. This is how delusion gets reinforced, not challenged. There's no correction mechanism, no pushback, just endless affirmation from strangers who want nothing more than a reaction, a reply, or a chance. That external noise replaces internal discipline, which is exactly why withholding attention is so important. Attention is not neutral, it's fuel. When you argue, explain, chase, closure, or try to make them understand, you're still feeding the system that props up the behavior in the first place. To them, attention equals importance, even if it's negative. This isn't gender exclusive, but the incentives hit differently. When someone can violate boundaries and still receive praise, options, and validation, there's no immediate cost to bad behavior. And without cost, there's no correction. Inflation collapses the moment reality reasserts itself, when attention disappears and expectations meet reward standards. Until then, the most powerful move isn't confrontation, it's disengagement. Because nothing deflates an inflated ego faster than silence and indifference.
A date the other day, but he wanted to get coffee and then go on a walk. Mind you, the only pictures I have of me outside on my Instagram are me at a beach outside the country. All the other pictures of me are in heels, dressed up, makeup done, hair done. What about me tells you I would want to go get coffee and go on a walk? Stop asking me stupid questions. And he was like, I only want a girl who appreciates walks or like simple things. Then go get a dog. I'm a but I'm not a dog. Stop wasting my time asking me stupid.
You're angry, honey. Ooh, very masculine too. So ladies, the guys are testing you now. And too bad you don't have the power anymore. You gave it up because you were too nasty. So now they're going to do this. And you know what? Maybe that guy was really smart. And he looked at your page and he saw you all dressed up. And he said, oh, she wants to go out with me? Let me see if she really wants to go out with me or if she's just looking for this nonsense. Let's see. And look what you showed him, right? You proved his point. And he said, how dare he ask me if I would go for a walk, being that I'm all dressed up. What, you don't have feet, honey? You don't walk from point A to point B? Or maybe he looked at your page and said, oh, this seems, she's attractive. And, oh, okay, so I'll ask her for a walk. Maybe he didn't assume that you would be an ingrate, spoiled brat.
Now we're getting into behavioral patterns. And this one is textbook. Some of you might remember her from that other viral clip, the meltdown over a simple glance from a man. A glance, not harassment, not a threat. Just attention. And yet, the reaction was immediate, dramatic, and self-centered. Some things never change. This is the classic overreaction cycle. Small stimulus, inflated response, immediate self-victimization. What's fascinating and frustrating is how consistent it is across situations. One moment she's projecting innocence, the next she's demonstrating entitlement, all while expecting no consequences for her behavior. It's not just being dramatic. It's a pattern that signals deeper issues. The expectation that men exist to validate finance or emotionally labor for them. And that's where the coffee dates and walks come into play. They're more than just casual outings. They're a filtering mechanism. A subtle real-world test to see who comes to play with unrealistic expectations and who understands boundaries. When someone acts entitled, expects automatic gifts, or treats a casual meeting like a payday, it's a clear signal. This is someone operating from the soft life fantasy, high reward, zero accountability. The beauty here is in execution. The situation exposed the behavior without confrontation, without argument, just an environment designed to show actions over words. And as you can see, it worked perfectly as intended. Entitlement doesn't thrive when it has to produce results. It crumbles under even the smallest test of reality. Patterns like this reveal a broader cultural trend. In the manosphere and self-awareness communities, we see it repeatedly. When validation becomes the main currency, boundaries become optional, and responsibility becomes negotiable. Situations like these aren't isolated. They're a snapshot of a generation learning the hard way that attention alone isn't currency. Accountability is. This clip isn't just commentary, it's a lesson. Actions, not words, define value. And when value is tested against real-world standards, entitlement is exposed every single time.
To anybody else, but the anger I get from making eye contact with a man is like so ridiculous sometimes. Look at the hives I just got, literally just from making eye contact with a man. I literally feel so disgusted. I feel like... Ew! It stresses me out! Don't look at me!
Here's the guy with the ick list. Apparently we have to add making eye contact to the list of things men aren't allowed to do. This is unhinged for so many reasons, but might I start by addressing the hypocrisy in the room? Because in order to make eye contact with someone, you also have to be staring at their face, right? What she's essentially saying is that she has every right to stare directly at men's faces, but if they dare look back in her direction, she will have a full-on mental breakdown. But you know what, honestly? I think we should just let Darwinism do its thing.
Not all men, not all men. Yeah, to you. To us, it is all men because it has to be.
Who exactly is us? They're obviously not including those who think logically and rationally in this conversation.
We have no choice. How are we supposed to know which men are safe? There are enough men that are misogynistic and dangerous for us to have to be cautious with every single one of them.
So naturally, a person would assume the worst of every individual in an entire population.
Men are always comparing women to objects, so it's my turn.
Oh, good. So instead of taking the high road and doing better than those individuals that someone is criticizing, someone is going to be not only just as bad, but in fact worse, because someone should know better.
Flashback. 93% of women 18 to 24 have literally never been the bigger person in a situation. You think I'm lying? This is an article from Dartmouth University. 2025, 93% women age 18 to 24, sample size 2,457, never taking the high road. The conscious choice to respond to interpersonal conflict or provocation with passive, forgiving, or non-confrontational behavior.
Imagine we have a big bowl of gummies. A large amount of them have poison and will make you very sick, and some of them will even kill you. I'm not going to trust any of those gummies until they are proven to be safe.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is actually how some individuals justify bigotry.
I'm not just talking about the men that essay and abuse. Even the men who are just a little misogynistic are unsafe to me. If a man perceives women as less than equal in any way, there's a possibility that he will treat me as less than equal. Good men are the ones who do think about it, because good people care about other people.
You know what else good people do? They actually understand that each person is an individual, not part of a monolithic group that acts of one mind. And moreover, they don't believe that an individual should be held responsible for the actions of others.
So if you're a man, misogynistic men are more likely to listen to you because they don't like women. They don't want to listen to us.
Well, if that were true, then misandrists would listen to other women when those women tell them how wrong they're being by hating an entire population of people. But usually, those misandrists just call those other women names.
If you want to be a good person, listen, learn, admit your faults, and then grow and change.
It's almost like a lot of those individuals out there who give advice on how to be a good person should actually take their own advice.
Let's unpack this, because it hits at the core of a major social disconnect. First, the statement is simple, but often overlooked. Most men don't do that. That refers to the overcomplicated emotional labor, the constant validation, the help me, but also be my punching bag expectation that some women project. It's not because men are lazy or incapable. It's because repeated disrespect erodes willingness. Here's the pattern. A woman acts entitled to help, advice, or resources. Simultaneously, she insults, undermines, or belittles the very men she expects support from. And then, somehow, she expects compliance, loyalty, and moral deference. That's the paradox. The demand is clear. Respect me, help me, validate me. But the delivery is the opposite. Hostility wrapped in expectation. This isn't just anecdotal. It's psychological and social. Humans naturally resist authority or guidance when it comes from someone who devalues them. You can't insult someone repeatedly and then be surprised when they stop listening. That's not stubbornness. That's basic human behavior. Respect is transactional, even if society has conditioned many to ignore the transaction. And here's the kicker. She believes herself morally superior while acting antagonistically. That moral self-perception is supposed to amplify her influence, but it backfires. Instead of inspiring cooperation, it triggers resistance. Men disengage, mentally check out, or disengage entirely. The very people she wants to sway are systematically being pushed away by her own behavior. So this isn't just one woman's issue. It's part of a larger cultural pattern. When entitlement, disrespect, and moral posturing converge, the result is predictable. Attention, help, and understanding evaporate. The lesson: influence requires more than demand. It requires respect, consistency, and humility, qualities in short supply when delusion and double standards run unchecked. This clip exposes the harsh truth. Complaining isn't persuasive if your behavior actively repels the audience you need most. Actions over words always.
Jump her car, and the whole thing is nothing. Why are the jumper cables are straight up nothing?
Should every one of my friends have reminded me why I cannot settle for lazy, mediocre love.
Yeah, for what it's worth, I think I used the word settle a little too loosely. Few discretions advised.
The car was repossessed last week, to which I have zero shame. I'm filing bankruptcy. It's the best financial decision I could make right now. It happens. Like, things are going to be okay. If the worst thing to happen to me is I don't have a vehicle,
Nah, we're not going to let you move past that quickly. Nope. Car repoed, filing for bankruptcy, and your response is happens. No, like that doesn't just happen. What are you doing with your life? How do you start the story off with that when we're supposed to be talking about love? What is going on here?
The point of this is I had walked out to go grab myself a cup of coffee before work. I walk out, my car's not there. I realize, okay, today was the day that they took it. I knew that was going to happen. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. So I call the guy I've been seeing. I say, hey, my car was just repoed. I need to go get myself a cup of coffee before I started working for the day, and it's gone. It was my first thought, like, let me call my man. He goes, oh, okay, so you're just calling because you want coffee, not for anything else. And I was like, well, I would like to see you too, but I'm just telling you, I'm calling you to help me solve one of the problems I'm having right now, because you can't do anything for the other problem I'm having. But you know what? You could bring me a cup of coffee. Never mind you what it was I just told him.
Now we're hitting the classic transactional relationship dynamic, and it's painfully predictable. Something tells me she only calls him when she needs something. Notice the phrasing, only when she needs something. This is not friendship. It's a utilitarian arrangement disguised as connection. And the moment you try to point it out, the narrative flips. Suddenly, she's the victim, because acknowledging the pattern would destroy the story she's telling herself that she's selfless, wronged, or morally upright. This is a core feature of entitlement behavior. The person benefits from the relationship whenever convenient, but shields themselves from accountability by framing themselves as persecuted. Victimhood becomes a tool, a defense mechanism that allows repeated exploitation without consequence. And the people on the receiving end in this case, the man being cold, are left navigating a maze of obligations and mixed signals. What's fascinating is how common this pattern is. It's not isolated to one personality type. It's amplified by cultural norms that valorize emotional labor from men, reward attention-seeking behavior from women, and normalize the idea that one can take as much as they want without reciprocal contribution. And social media only reinforces this. Everyone sees the curated narrative, the selective truths, and rarely the accountability. The takeaway here is simple but crucial. Observe patterns, not excuses. Repeated calls for help, aid, or validation without consistency or mutual respect are a red flag. And when someone refuses to acknowledge their own behavior, the real truth is clear. It's never about fairness. It's about what serves them. Actions define intentions more than words ever could. And in this case, the pattern speaks louder than any self-crafted story of victimhood.
No, her life is in shambles because of her. And that man that she's dating is tired of it. You walk out your house, your car is repoed. You said that you knew it was going to happen, you just didn't know when. You call up the man that you're dating, and instead of prioritizing how you either going to get the stuff out of your car, how you're going to get your car out of the repo, whatever, you're still talking about that guy cup of coffee. Who can have coffee in a time like this, huh? Sweetheart, your priorities are up. You are worried about the wrong things, and he's tired of that.
He did not make anything easier for me that day. And he did end up bringing me coffee. He ended up saying, I just did this to shut you up. He fought with me the entire day. I mean, back and forth, screaming at each other on the phone, as if I wasn't already dealing with enough. And now I'm having to yell and beg you to just be nice to me. That's what I literally said. I said, the only thing I need from you today is to just please be nice to me.
Now hear me out. I can understand someone making a situation that's already bad worse. That is very frustrating. I cannot lie. I would not have advised that young man to be going back and forth with her. There's no point. However, that still does not change the fact that her priorities are all over the place. And if you've never had to be connected to someone some way, somehow, whether it be a sibling, a significant other, a parent that does stupid or bad up their life and it becomes your problem because you're connected to them, you don't understand the level of frustration that builds for one individual. I don't even have to know that man to know that that's exactly where he's at in that relationship. She strikes me as a person that does a lot of irresponsible things and expects other people to either help her or fix it for her.
Saturday, my friend Sophie texted me and wanted to hang out. I tell her, hey, I don't have a car. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. What can I do? Are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you need to go get groceries? Let me just come and get you out of the house. What can I do to help? So she came, picked me and my daughter up, took me to the thrift store because that's what I wanted to do. We all went out to eat, came back here, hung out. She kept me busy and made sure that I was okay. Sunday, my best friend Alicia picked me up and took me to go get 4 things I found off Facebook Marketplace Sunday afternoon. I didn't have have a way to go get these things myself, and she knew how much I really wanted them, so she took me to go get those things, as well as took me to the grocery store to make sure that my daughter and I had groceries for the week. She only got 4 hours of sleep the night before because she was planning and throwing a whole birthday party for a 1-year-old. She still made time for me. Today, Monday, my other friend took me to go get my personal property out of my car that was repossessed. We ended up getting coffee, we spent the afternoon together, we got lunch, we drove around, laughed, listened to music. She completely took my mind off of everything.
It makes perfect sense as to why she's as irresponsible as she is. Because she knows these kind of outlets are always going to be there. Her friends validate and justify her horrible behavior. Because hear me out, there's nothing wrong with helping a friend in need, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But based on how this story started, it doesn't seem like she's somebody that's in need. She seems like an irresponsible individual that does irresponsible and expects other people to come and save or help her. And her friends are there all the time. They doing all kind of extra. She going to Facebook Marketplace and picking up. She ain't got no business picking up. She hanging out. She just driving around listening to music. They taking her mind off things. No. Your mind needs to be on it. Your mind needs to be on the problems that you've caused in your own life. That man is sick and tired of dealing with it because you are continuously repeating the same behaviors and breeding the same results. And you get upset when people do not want to help you anymore.
Over the last 3 days, that guy has been a ghost, hasn't called, hasn't texted. Hey, do you need anything? I know you don't have a car right now. I'd bring you something because you don't have a car right now. Nothing. Meanwhile, all my friends are happy to just get me out of the house so I don't feel cooped up. So I don't feel like I'm stuck in the house the way that I am because I don't have a car. Friends have all made sure that I'm good. My daughter's good. So no, I cannot settle for mediocre, lazy love. And neither should you, especially not when you know what it feels like to be loved and considered.
Maybe she mentioned her daughter earlier in the video and I just missed it. What do you mean, your daughter? So you have the livelihood of a child in your hands and you don't think having a car is important? You're more worried about that cup of coffee, Facebook Marketplace, hanging out with your friends, and you don't think that you need a vehicle to make sure if something happens, you and your child can either get to safety, you can get your child to the hospital, God forbid something happens, you can take your child and go to the grocery store and get her something to eat. I knew it. I knew it. Her priorities are all up, and that man has checked out, and I don't blame him, because I know that ain't even his kid. Can you imagine being a stepdad to a child with an irresponsible mother like this woman here? Wow. People with this kind of mindset never thrive in life.
This line isn't just about engagement, it's a psychological nudge. It's designed to prime you to keep watching, to stay within the cycle of consumption, attention, and narrative reinforcement. Much like the patterns we've been analyzing in the clips, it relies on anticipation, subtle promise, and curiosity. Notice the structure. If you enjoyed this video, I promise you will love this next video. It assumes you did. Enjoy it, subtly framing agreement before you even decide. Then, I will see you there adds personal connection, almost a soft promise of continuity, loyalty, and companionship in a space that's otherwise one-sided. It mirrors the same human behavioral patterns we've discussed earlier. Attention is given strategically. Promises create expectation, and patterns reinforce engagement. Just like inflation inflates self-perception via validation, CTAs inflate audience engagement via subtle psychological triggers. So, while it seems simple, it's not just a YouTube line, it's part of the attention economy ecosystem. And for content creators or observers of social dynamics, it's a perfect example of how human behavior can be guided, predicted, and leveraged through structure, subtlety, and pattern recognition. In short, always notice the pattern. Even something as small as a CTA is a window into influence, motivation, and behavioral response.